The PR3002 is for Title III Part A ELA. At the top of the report, the buttons for printable version, table of contents, save, and access to the instructions have the same functionality as in the other compliance reports. Part 1 is asking for the LEA to list the expenditures that took place for supplemental language instruction educational programs and activities that were implemented by the LEA in the focus areas listed. Part 2 is asking for the expenditures for supplemental parent, family, and community engagement activities that the LEA implemented with Title III Part A funds. Part 3 is asking for the amount that the LEA expended for supplemental professional development activities. In Part 4, the LEA will indicate yes or no whether they offered a newcomer program or a bilingual program. If the LEA offered a bilingual program, they are asked to indicate what types of program models were used. In the third question of Part 4, yes or no, did the LEA offer English as a second language? And if so, was it content-based or pull-out? In Part 5, the LEA will enter the number of certified teachers who are serving in a language instruction education program. The LEA will also enter the estimated number of additional certified teachers that will be needed in the next 5 years. Part 6 has 3 program implementation questions related to Title III Part A. In the first one, did the LEA provide and implement effective parent engagement activities to parents of English learners that were above and beyond other federal programs? Yes, no, or not applicable. In the explanation of compliance status, if the LEA selected yes, the LEA must list the sources of documentation that it has readily available to submit to the agency to document compliance with the requirement. If the LEA said no, the LEA must explain the reason for the non-compliance. And if the LEA selected NA, the LEA must explain why the requirement is not applicable. For the second program implementation question, did the LEA provide and implement effective family engagement activities to families of English learners that were above and beyond other federal programs? The LEA must answer yes, no, or not applicable. Again, in the explanation of compliance status, if the LEA said yes, the LEA must list the sources of documentation that is readily available to submit to the agency to document compliance with this requirement. If no, the LEA must explain the reason for the non-compliance, and if NA was selected, the LEA must explain why the requirement is not applicable. And in the last program implementation question, did the LEA provide and maintain effective community engagement activities to parents of English learners that were above and beyond other federal programs? Yes, no, or not applicable. And again, the LEA must provide an explanation of the compliance status that was selected. Part 7 provides the LEA with a space to provide additional information if needed.